dream of a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Even though he built Disneyland to be a park, this may well be the only park bench that you cannot actually sit on. Every attraction in Disneyland tells a story. Here's the story behind this one park bench. In the 1940s, Walt Disney is a Hollywood movie mogul. Walt Disney is a household name, but I think more importantly, more significantly, he is the father to two young girls, Diane and Sharon. And every Saturday afternoon was Daddy's Day. And so Walt, Diane, and Sharon, they would take off here in Southern California. They go to the beach, they go to the mountains, they go to museums. But far and away, their favorite place to go was this little merry-go-round in nearby Griffith Park. Moms and dads, grandmas, grandpas, you already know this. If you put a small child on a merry-go-round, do they ever just want to ride it once? No, of course not. Why, they want to ride it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. And one Saturday afternoon, while Diane and Sharon are spinning on their merry-go-round, Walt Disney is sitting on this bench. He has an idea. He has a crazy thought. Walt Disney begins to dream. There should be a place where parents and children can have fun together. And it was in that moment, on this bench, that the dream of Disneyland was born. But it's not just Walt, is it? You have ideas. You have crazy thoughts. We all still dream, right? When my wife, Nikki, and I moved to Southern California in 2011, we were excited because we were going to get to go to Disneyland. But what we didn't know was that after becoming local annual pass holders, why, like Diane and Sharon on their merry-go-round, we would keep coming back to Disneyland again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, to the tune of well over 400 times in the last 5 years. And somewhere along the way, I had my idea. Somewhere along the way, I had my crazy thoughts. Somewhere along the way, like Walt Disney, I too began to dream. There should be a college course, a class on the history of Disneyland. Now, right now, some of you are thinking, really? Seriously? A college course on the history of an amusement park? But others of you are sitting there thinking, wow, where was that class when I was in college? Walt Disney once said that all of our dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. Well, I had my dream, but what I lacked was courage. I mean, after all, I didn't want to be the goofy guy. I didn't want to be the CBU faculty member who lost his job for pitching such a Mickey Mouse idea. And so I did with my dream what you have done with yours. Nothing. But that doesn't mean our dreams let us go, does it? No, our dreams are like the hitchhiking ghosts in the Haunted Mansion. They will follow you home. They will distract you in the middle of the day. They will haunt you in the middle of the night, waking you up at 3 a.m., or at least my dream did. And then everything changed on the afternoon of May 6, 2013 at 5:05 p.m. I had spent the entire day distracted in my thinking about a college course on the history of Disneyland, of which I had done nothing about. And I was leaving the university campus, headed home, accelerated onto the 91 freeway, and all of a sudden I heard this horrific noise. And I looked into the rearview mirror. I saw my iPhone doing cartwheels down the shoulder of the freeway because in my distracted thinking about my dream, of which I had done nothing about, I had left my iPhone on the roof of the car. So I raced up to the first exit, came across came back on the freeway in the opposite direction, came across again, slowly made my way along that same shoulder, and long before I ever found my iPhone, I first found something else that also looked painfully familiar. Because in my distracted thinking about my dream, I had not only left my iPhone on the roof of the car, but I had left my iPad as well. I stood there that day with $1,000 in shattered electronics. And I knew I couldn't stand it anymore. I'm done. Done standing on the sidelines of my life. I was done only ever thinking about my dream, but never taking action. I was done watching cars pass by, knowing those aren't just cars. That is my life. I was done. And so I made a decision, and I need you to decide today about your dream, because to decide means the death of any and all other options. Here was my decision. There was never going to be another day that I didn't work on building my dream, creating a college-level course on the history of Disneyland. I marched into the office of our chair of history and government. I pitched my Mickey Mouse idea. Here's what I learned. 30 years ago, when he was a student at USC, he had worked as a cast member at Disneyland. He loved the idea. And so for the next year, I got to work on my dream. Syllabus, curriculum, guest lectures, textbooks, field trips, you name it. And then oddly enough, exactly 1 year to the day, May 6, 2014, I gave the very first lecture in my dream course, The History of Disneyland, 365 days after running over my electronics on the 91 freeway. And guess what? It was awesome! I have never walked into a history course where students were so excited and so engaged to be taking a general education history class. Well, let's hit the pause button for just a moment, because I have another question to ask you. Raise your hand if you like stories. Of course you do. Stories are why we read books. Stories are why you go to the movies. Stories are what keep bringing us back to Disneyland again and again. Walt Disney most wanted to be remembered as a storyteller, and the attractions at Disneyland tell a story, and in doing so they are challenging you. They are challenging you to live your own great story. But here's the deal. As much as we love story, why every story requires conflict. And as much as we love story, we want nothing to do with conflict. I need you to understand today that what is between you and your dream right now is not a lack of ability. It's not a lack of time. It's not even a lack of money. No, what stands between you and your dream is your unwillingness. Your unwillingness to embrace conflict. The day after I gave the very first lecture in my dream course, The History of Disneyland, I faced the greatest conflict of my life. I was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And the neurosurgeon at Cedars-Sinai looked at me and said, "Jeff, it's life-threatening. It's got to come out. Today's Friday. You have the weekend to get your affairs into order. I need you back here on Tuesday for brain surgery." And even if it is not cancerous, and fortunately it turned out not to be, but even if it is not cancerous, because of the invasiveness of the surgery, you are going to be out of work anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks. Well, 6 to 8 weeks means no class. 6 to 8 weeks means the history of Disneyland is wiped from the schedule, never to be seen or heard from again. 6 to 8 weeks means my dream dies. And so it was in that moment that I planted my sword. And I looked the neurosurgeon in the eye and I said, "Sorry, Doc, Tuesday is not going to happen. And he wanted to know, well, what are you doing that's so important and so significant that you're willing to put off brain surgery and risk your life? And I said to him, well, you see, I'm a university professor. I have class this summer. And then he wanted to know, well, what class are you teaching that, again, is so important and so significant that you're willing to put off brain surgery and risk your life? Now, I don't know if he was looking for like molecular biology, organic chemistry, but when I said to him, history of Disneyland, oh, I thought he was going to kill me before the tumor ever had a chance. But it was in that moment that I realized, more than an idea, more than a crazy thought, even more than a dream, this had become my life's passion. Here's why. Every year, 33 million people go to either Disneyland or Disney World. What if, rather than being an escape, we could see it as an example? What if, rather than being the place where dreams come true, what if I can show you? What if I can show you how Disneyland is challenging you to make your own dreams come true? That is my mission. That is my message. That is my passion. One that I was willing to lay down my life for. Go back to Disneyland for just a moment only. This time it's opening day, July 17th, 1955. And again, Walt built the park for the purpose of telling stories. And on opening day, far and away, the best stories that were told were by way of the original dark rides in Fantasyland. You know them because they're still there. Snow White's Scary Adventures, Peter Pan's Flight, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. And Walt constructed those attractions specifically to evoke the emotions that we readily associate with story. So Snow White's Scary Adventures is all about fear and danger. Peter Pan's Flight is about awe and wonder. And Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is about humor and comedy. And yet when the park first opened, as much as we loved Disneyland, as much as we loved those rides, back in 1955 we were also very, very confused. Because when you rode and experienced these attractions in 1955, the heroes, the lead characters, Snow White, Peter Pan, Mr. Toad, they were nowhere to be found. Because Walt's hope, Walt's vision, Walt's expectation was that when you get on Snow White, you get to be Snow White. And when you get on Peter Pan, you get to be Peter Pan. You are Mr. Toad. How cool is that? We didn't get it. And so every single day for 30 years, guests would line up at City Hall on Main Street, and we would whine, and we would moan, and we would complain. I just rode Snow White. Did you know she's not there? I just rode Peter Pan 3 times in a row. You know how long that line is. He isn't there. Where is Mr. Toad? And so when they renovated Fantasyland in 1983, to assuage our endless complaints and endless concerns, they fixed those attractions by putting the heroes and the lead characters back into those rides and back into those stories. Which is great for fixing Fantasyland, but here's the challenge. There's nothing for you, nothing for your life, nothing for your dream, nothing for your business, nothing for your family. Your dream today needs a hero. Be one. You need someone to step up and take the lead. Do it. Stop looking for a hero and be one already, because if it's not you, then who? And if you're not willing to start taking action now, when will you be? Now, after 400 plus trips to Disneyland, every now and then, Nikki and I will get someone who will ask this question. Wow, 400 times? Aren't you bored with it yet? Haven't you seen everything already? I mean, is there anything left? And here's what I say. 5 years and 400 plus visits later, Nikki and I are more impressed than ever. And here's why. Disneyland is consistent. Disneyland sets the bar of excellence and holds it there. Disneyland is showing us the importance of consistency and the importance of excellence each and every day when we are pursuing our goal, pursuing our vision, and pursuing our dream. Aristotle once said, excellence is a habit, and what you do every day matters far more than what you do every now and again. And so as I challenge you this afternoon to think about your dream, as I challenge you this afternoon to step up, be the hero, take the lead, begin moving and acting on your vision, why I also want you to challenge to be consistent, to step up like Disneyland each and every day. Now I often get asked, well, that's great, you're at Disneyland like 400 times in the last 5 years. How did